Now, following the Pahalgam incident, India has gone up further. It has carried out a missile strike which has been executed without violating the Pakistan airspace. Now, using missiles are a strategic weapon, right? And this is a new form of escalation. Precise bhi hai or symbolic bhi. You have only hit the terror infrastructure. Now, what can terror infrastructure be? We will discuss later. So the point is, the conflict has been escalated to the next level where you are using some kind of strategic weapons. Now, how this conflict is now going to shape when India has enhanced the level, and how things will unfold, and how will the conflict shape up now. So first is, how will Pakistan respond to it? Now, Pakistan's military establishment will also be under pressure. उनके यहाँ भी जिंगोइस्ट उग्रवादी और ये सब बहुत हैं, right? There are a lot of warmongers also. So they will be under compulsion to respond. Now, India's strike, cosmetic or not, has shifted the rules of engagement. We have used the strategic weapons. The terror infrastructure that we have targeted is not something a sprawling complex के बहुत 4 मंजिला ऊंचा है या बड़ा command headquarter था या, it was usually terror infrastructure is cluster of tents, mud huts, prefabricated huts, right? कुछ एक कच्ची ईंट की अपनी दीवार वो बने हुए और a training area, that's all. But the message is clear, loud and clear, that you do anything here, we will also retaliate. So if Pakistan's response to our strikes is also cosmetic, things may cool down at this level only. But if Pakistan's strike is not a cosmetic one, and it causes real lateral damage also, or especially to civilians, the conflict has the potential to escalate to another level, right? And that term which was used during the nuclear age, the MAD, mutually assured destruction, तो दोनों फिर सेटल डाउन होंगे उसमें कि एक दूसरे का डिस्ट्रक्शन ही होगा. It holds relevance now in the light of what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Okay, so it is not only restricted to this term, restricted to only nuclear era only. It is also now possible in conventional warfare. If both nations cross a line, then the destruction will be mutual. Now, आज से कुछ 5 साल 10 साल पहले, बल्कि 5 साल पहले तक एक मिलिट्री थ्योरिस्ट जो हैं, वो थ्योरिस्ट और स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट कहते थे, दी मॉडर्न वॉर्स आर गोइंग टू बी शॉर्ट एंड इंटेंस, 10-15 दिन से ज्यादा चलने वाली नहीं है. बट रीसेंट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स, यूक्रेन, Russia, Syria, have proven otherwise. Wars today are intense, but they are long drawn. Now, by launching missiles without crossing into Pakistan airspace, India has probably inadvertently opened the door for plausible deniability and also a low-cost opportunity to continue the conflict. So let's remember the reality now. The battlefield, due to the technological development, is no longer restricted to only border areas. Unlike 1965-71, where the wars were restricted to border areas only. Today, missiles can strike thousands of kilometers deep inside the territory on urban centers, right? Thousands of kilometers inside, and both India and Pakistan have that capability today. So, in these modern wars, we are noticing this, that there are no clear-cut winners and losers. It's only the degree of loss. Societies are disrupted, economies stumble, and there is political upheaval. Or, of course, civilian toll is immense. But one thing, it brings us to another reality, this conflict. India's robust economy and strong manufacturing base gives it an upper hand in a prolonged conflict. Pakistan's fragile economy with limited industrial depth may not survive an arms race. Now, this is the strategy once suggested by General Sundarji in his book, The Blind Men of Hindustan, in which he said we must compel Pakistan into an unsustainable arms race. Now, even if Pakistan's response is muted and cosmetic, one thing we should not be naive about is कि ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि Pakistan will now give up its proxy war. This missile strike that we have done is not going to compel Pakistan to give up proxy war, right? It has only shown Pakistan कि तुम करोगे तो हम भी ठोकेंगे. That's all. So if India has chosen to respond after every terror attack, it needs to prepare itself on the home front also. Because as I said, at some level, it may escalate. So we must not forget certain important aspects. The first one, the civil defense drills, public shelters, mental health support. The administration need to prepare the public for, evacuation procedures kya honge, alert signals kya honge, fire safety procedures and all, and more, much more. People must be trained mentally and physically for what lies ahead. The administration needs to build such shelters, streamlining firefighting procedures, casualty evacuation procedures. बस एक प्रोसीजर बनाने से नहीं, उसका रिहर्सल भी करनी पड़ेगी. And the government needs to recognize this and prepare the people for that. The fact is, ultimately, no one wants a war. But sometimes nations are drifted into one step by step, almost inadvertently, na chahte hue bhi. Because there seems to be no other alternative. The enemy is not getting disciplined. Usko samajh mein hi nahi aa raha. So this conflict now is not just of, such a conflict is not of just of missiles or military might. It is of nerves. The side that remains calm, composed, mature and grounded, it will emerge stronger. And the one that gives in to jingoism, ugravadi and rage may go down discredited. So stay calm, stay composed. We got a damn good armed forces which is professional. Have faith on it. Jai Hind.